Hello, and welcome to another video, where in this time I'm gonna teach you about team composition. And I'm gonna base this a lot on this image you're seeing right now. I'm gonna link the tweet below, it's a little more of an explanation, because this is a top player, and most people agree with it. I agree with most of this. So the two things that are in this one that I'm just gonna cover with this one is that Big Band, Cerebella, and Double are basically considered the best characters in the game by most of everyone. Even if they don't want to tell you these are the best characters in the game, when someone asks about team composition, they say you need one of these three characters in your team if you want to be competitive. So even if they don't like to say they're the best characters, they kind of say it in a roundabout way. They are basically the best characters. And why is that? They're just good all around. They have some defensive options, they have options to mash out, they have good resets, they have amazing damage, with their supers and assists, they can create good synergies with basically everyone. Some synergies will always be better than others, but it's basically if you have one of these three in your team, you're building a competitive team, and that's what that means. There are competitive teams that don't have any of these, but as of now, it's really rare to see it, especially at like a top 8 combo breaker. And this is just like the easiest way to do it, and it's a surefire way to do it, that's why it's so popular. And the other one, they also show Robo and Eliza as work. Too much work. I actually don't agree so much with Eliza. I agree somewhat, but not that much. Eliza has a lot of options, except in defense. In defense, her options are not that great. And in neutral and offense, her options greatly depend on a matchup, into which there are several matchups she's not that good at by herself. And Robo just has a lot of issues, where, yeah, she has strengths, but what makes a conventionally strong character, like all-rounder strong character in Skullgirls, that's what she's lacking. That's the problem with Robo. Let's start with everyone else. Let's say Beowulf. With Beowulf, you really need the Big Band assist or the Cerebella assist. Because their assists, like the Excalibur assist and the A-Train assist, allow you to do damage, do meter build, and they allow Beowulf to increase his hype meter that allows to even crazier combos. It has been kinda hinted at that in the new patch that will happen after Evo, the A-Train assist will be nerfed and Beowulf won't be able to do this anymore. But until then, and we don't know if it's gonna happen, you kinda need one of these two. And then, whatever you want really, that's kinda the basics of Beowulf. Beowulf has a lot of options. Beowulf can do a lot of things, has the damage, has the resets, has the mix-ups, but it all is a little dependent on having his hype meter, which if you have any of these two assists, it's just amazing. Then you can just have a defensive assist or a neutral assist or something, and you'll have a good team, basically. Of course, it's not that simple, but this is mostly for people that are trying to get into the game. I'm just gonna give you the basic gist. Filia. So Filia, I would say, is just a little below these characters. I can block Filia. Like, I've been able to block Filia, and blocking Filia is a little hard, but once you get a tell on your opponent's rhythm, it gets a little easier. You can also jump back them. So she has good assists, not as good as theirs, but still pretty good assists. So I'd say the Filia is kind of good anywhere, but you really need to be good to have her anchor. It's best as a point character, as a secondary character, mid character. She's good assist, but as an anchor, it's a little. You need to be really good with Filia for that, because Filia has a lot of resets. Her damage is actually not that great, but it looks like it is because she resets you so much and in so many creative ways. So for a team with her, you kinda, again, if you want any of these, it's good. You can put Fukua. Miss Fortune has a lot of issues. You can even put Robo. Robo has great assist for neutral, which greatly increases her pressure. Any lockdown assist, even like anything that locks you down, even if you're blocking or getting hit, like Squigly or even Eliza, Cerebella. Big Band, not so much. Double, Painwheel, and Fukua. I'd say with a lockdown assist and then whatever else you want, I'd say she's really good. Oh no, Big Band too, because of his 2-hit DP. Because one of her best mix-ups needs an assist, and I'd say any of these characters has an assist that will allow for this mix-up that I showed in the last video. So Filia, really good character, like really good. Miss Fortune really needs to be point character though. She's not like Filia. She doesn't really have the greatest of assists. And I'd say she's basically like Filia, but weirder, and can do setups by herself, but she really needs to be a point character, I'd say. But all this assists again, all of these lockdown assists are really good for her. She could also use a neutral assist, which you can put Parasoul in there. But yeah, like here, because of how forward she moves, I would take out these. I would take out Painwheel and Squigly to be really good with her and have more forward moving neutral assists. Yeah, so again, Miss Fortune is really good, but she doesn't play nice with others, so she's kind of like a must point character. Painwheel, you basically need Big Band. Big Band Painwheel is kind of like the best synergy for Painwheel. But if you don't want Painwheel, then you would need, you can make it work with a lot of things, but really, like maybe some Peacock stuff is actually really cool with her, with like the item drop. But Big Band, I would say, is the best option. Probably Cerebella's Armored Assist is good, and the Napalm Shot. And I'd say that's kind of like her best options, probably. Again, you can create a team, not necessarily with these, but I'm giving you ideas that the Napalm Shot, because it kind of stays there and it blows up after a little while, it's really good for Painwheel's flying in as in neutral. Big Band's DPSs that's so big helps a lot too for mix-ups and things, and also the Rush Punch thing that has a lot of armor, same with Cerebella, and kind of same with Peacock, but she's a little weirder. Even Robo, but these characters give you a little more, like, they give you a little more options. So now let's say Parasoul. Parasoul basically needs double. Double allows her to do some really nasty mix-ups that work also for, like the Cilia Slide Assist allows for a really nasty mix-up, and it's also a really good neutral assist. I'd say neutral assists like that are easier to combo from, like Fukua's. Even, again, Big Band and Bell are kind of a given in any team. Robo, she has cool synergies with Robo, but you really need, if you are building a team Robo Parasoul, you really need the Bella, Band, or Double in there. You can't just, you need something to account for everyone's weaknesses. You can't just play, if, again, you are trying to play competitively, it's not really advised to then try anyone else in that sort of team with someone that's not one of the big three. Eliza has some cool things with her, but Eliza, again, she's not that great when it comes to some synergies, and if someone dies, it becomes an uphill battle. I'd say this is the best options for her. Maybe, nah, yeah, I think this is good. Now let's say Fukua. Fukua, I'm in denial about Fukua. What does that mean? So Fukua was completely revamped. She was completely changed. A lot of the changes were made basically by Sonic Fox, because she was super top tier. Like, she was so easy to use and so good at the game, it was insane. So she got completely revamped so she would be more balanced. The thing is that even Sonic Fox says that they will change one of the big three. Instead of Cerebella, they would put Fukua there. And the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, Fukua has a lot of options. Not the best defensive options usually, but she still has good defensive options. To the point where I'm like, am I in denial because I want to think that she actually got balanced because of the whole revamp when she's still one of the best top 4 at least characters in the game? Maybe I'm in denial. So Fukua can be with anyone, basically. You can build a team with Fukua. Her assist is really good. It actually got nerfed because of how good it was, the drill assist. Amazing. Let's say Squigly. For Squigly, once again, same as Beowulf, you need either Big Band or Bella for the charge. And then you can bring out anyone else, anyone with an assist that can lock down or to help neutral or something, but these two are basically musts for Squigly. She also has some cool stuff with Eliza, which she can actually charge with Eliza. But then again, if you do this, you will need double in the team or one of these two. If you want to be competitive, again. Let's say Robo. Robo really needs good synergies, like Big Band, or Bella, or Double. And Parasoul has good synergies. And, well, as long as you have one of these 3 with Robo, you will probably be good. But you might need something else. You probably need Big Band and one of these 2 I would recommend usually, and maybe Parasoul to make Robo into a competitive team. Robo is a lot of work, and these characters really make that work less. So that's why when you see a Robo, you will usually see some of these characters beside her. Yes, Peacock. Oh, Peacock. For Peacock, you would need Big Band or Bella because of the neutral assist. I would recommend more Big Band, honestly. The neutral assist, which is really good. And if actually, now Robo could be there too. Now that team is so annoying. You will most likely win by just zoning because this team is annoying as hell and it's so hard to actually deal with. Who else could there be? I think Painwheel. You could put Painwheel here instead of Robo too. Fukua too, and you know, the usual suspects. You could even put Big Band here. Big Band, I mean Beowulf here. Beowulf has some... His assists are like, have a longer cooldown, but they're really good still. So I'd say basically kind of like in this order would be a really good team. Yeah. And you could change it like Bella is like in a team with Peacock. It's kind of like worse band, so you're probably better off with Big Band. I have said Squigly. Eliza. A lot of people think Eliza is so good because her buttons are amazing and annoying and stuff, but that's because you don't really know that her hurt box extends first in all of her moves. So it's so easy to actually hit her out of things. To which she needs a neutral assist. Like Robo, or Bella, or Band, maybe even Parasoul. But again, if you go for a character like Robo, you will need somebody else to be there. Also, Eliza is really good with if you can DHC things with her. So double is kind of a necessity. A lot of the times you can't really mash things out, but if you get your opponent blocking and then go into super, it's pretty like there's nothing you can do it but DHC into something safe like double. Or maybe even Squigly, like I said, Squigly is good with Eliza. So she needs a neutral assist basically and something to DHC into. DHCs are really important in this game. I haven't really been talking about DHCs, but you have to take that into consideration when building a team too. When you DHC, what happens with your team composition? Valentine, once again, you either need Bella or Big Band to charge vials. And from there, I don't think she really needs that much of a neutral assist. Her neutral is really good. Although her neutral is very samey. If you watch any top Valentine play, chances are you're gonna see like 70% of the same type of play. So basically anyone really here, maybe in a defensive assist might be good, a neutral assist, but these two are a necessity. But yeah, like a more vertical assist like Big Band might also work here. Maybe even Beowulf's chair toss, but I haven't really seen that. But yeah, you need like these two in your team basically if you're playing Valentine. So I've covered Bella, the big three, and Big Band. The second one is here. I've covered the kind of like the bad ones for team composition, I mean, not necessarily like in team. You kind of being like here. Good point character, good point character. Parasoul, have I talked about Parasoul? If I haven't, Parasoul is basically like a good point character. You would really need double here for Parasoul. And then another neutral assist basically. The Parasoul double is one of the best synergies in the game too. That's why when you see a Parasoul in play, you usually see double. And then again, you can just choose from the big three. She has some issues to which make her a good point character. She's very explosive, but if she gets touched, she can explode too. To which that's why she makes for a good point character. Peacock. Peacock is weird in teams. You basically need to actually build the team for more annoying, and it's not that the other assists don't work, it's just that these assists are so good at that, the assist up here, that why else would you choose anyone? Painwheel again needs Big Band basically. Same with Valentine, same with Beowulf, same with, yeah. These two are kind of weird, but I think Parasoul is a little better. These two are kind of weird, but they're kind of good anywhere. But it's obviously better if you have them in point character. Fukua could go anywhere. These three could go anywhere. They're so good. And these are weird to the point where you really need to dig to make a team good. And if you have them both in a team, you really need one of these three. Like really, like I'm saying, the big three are mostly a suggestion that most top players actually enforce, because it's the best way to make a character in today's meta. But with this too, it's a little more complicated. So that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. This was kind of messy, but I had to put it out. So thank you very much. I will see you next time.